States faces beyond our planet. This comes just weeks after Russia's test of an anti-satellite weapon left more than 1,500 pieces of debris in Earth's orbit. Harris calling that action irresponsible and addressing its broader implications. Listen to this.
Without clear norms for the responsible use of space, we stand the real risk of threats to our national and global security.
Joining us this morning to dive deeper into those threats is Josh Rogin of The Washington Post. He wrote an op-ed this week titled, "A Shadow War in Space is Heating Up Fast." He's also the author of Chaos Under Heaven, detailing the Trump administration's relations with China, which is another major player in this new space race. And that's actually where I want to start, Josh. Good morning and thanks for joining us. A top Space Force general told you this week that China could overtake the United States as the #1 power in space by the end of the decade. Are lawmakers in Washington doing enough to secure U.S. interests in space?
Well, good morning, Boris. Well, everybody remembers in 2018 when President Trump announced the Space Force, and a lot of people made fun of it, mostly because the logo looks like the one from Star Trek and everything. But as it turns out, it probably was a pretty good idea, because when I interviewed the Space Force general who's in charge of this stuff, he said that our satellites are getting attacked by adversaries every single day. And we only see it when the Russians blow up a satellite with a missile. But Russia and China are attacking our satellites with lasers, other non-kinetic RF jammers, cyber attacks. They have these satellites that go up to the other satellites, and they have a grappling hook, and sometimes they just grab them and chuck them out of the sky. And we can't see all of this on the ground, but it's happening so much that these senior officials are really worried about it. To answer your question, no, we're not doing enough. And the point that General Thompson was making was that, hey, if China can build satellites and field them twice as fast as we can, which is this current state right now, by the end of the decade, they'll have more than us, and then they'll control things like global positioning, how do you get your cable, how does your Waze work on your car, all that kind of stuff, not to mention the military stuff. It could be a real competition, and diplomacy would be great, but until that happens, the race is on.
And Josh, bring this down to earth for us, so to speak, because if China or Russia become the dominant power in space, that has enormous implications, some of which you laid out. Obviously, Russia, with its potential incursion into Ukraine, a threat at that point, China in the South China Sea, this could portend for a shakeup in global dominance for decades to come.
Well, that's exactly right. And again, just because we can't see it doesn't mean there's not a battle going on right now. Some of it's military, some of it's intelligence, some of it's just the things that we use to do business and live our lives. So we have to think that, and as tensions rise with both of these countries, if there was a war, whoever would control space would win that war, because there's no military on Earth that can operate without satellites. But even if there's never a war, do we really want our GPS? Do we really want our international communication systems dependent on our adversaries? Is that a really good idea? And then the space debris thing is a real thing. We've got space stations that are constantly ducking out of the way of garbage flying at them. And, I hear what Vice President Harris is saying. She's saying that we need to have sort of arms control in space. We need to have rules of the road. And I think that the Biden administration is going to try to do that for all of our benefit. But I don't think the Chinese and Russians are really on board with that, at least not at the moment. They're building fast. Now, an arms race is not a great idea. An arms race has risks. An arms race is dangerous. But the race is on, and we're either in it to win it or we're not.
Josh, I want to ask you about another op-ed you had this week talking about Congress needing to act on Xi Jinping's genocide. And this is about the Uyghurs, obviously something that you have reported on extensively. Senator Marco Rubio this week held up the passage of a key defense bill. He wants to add an amendment that would restrict the imports of Chinese goods made by Uyghurs in forced labor camps. It's a policy that has bipartisan support, yet lawmakers haven't found a way to get it passed. What is at stake here, and where do you think this procedural battle might ultimately lead?
Right. I heard your great reporter talk about this, but it's really not a procedural issue. It's really not about does it create revenue or not, because the House passed this bill last year. The Senate passed this bill in July. If Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell and Joe Biden wanted to pass it, they could do it today. we could stop forced labor from coming to this country, but our leaders are arguing over procedural issues. It's a terrible example of our government and our Congress turning away from a crime in progress where millions of people are put into camps, and I hope that they'll reverse themselves and pass it soon.
And hopefully a genocide that will get a lot more attention as we get closer to the Winter Olympics coming up in Beijing at the beginning of next year. Josh Rogin, appreciate your reporting and your time as always. Thanks.
Anytime.
There's more ahead on New Day. First, though, Parkinson's isn't just a disease for the elderly. Nearly 10% of Parkinson's patients get it before the age of 50.